Hello, welcome to Ofoy TV. My name is Ekuya Ofoy. If this is your first time here, please click the subscribe button so that you'll be notified whenever I make a video. If you are watching me from Facebook, please follow the page and then click on the notification bell so that whenever I drop a video, whenever I make a post, you will get a notification. But for those of you on YouTube, all you have to do is just sign in whilst you're on YouTube with your Gmail login information, and then you click on subscribe. You don't have to pay anything on YouTube to subscribe. All right? But thank you so much for doing this. Guys, today we are going to talk about errors, mistakes, call it whatever you want to call it, but errors happen. Mistakes happen on this application, but we have major errors and mistakes, and then we have minor errors and mistakes. The major ones definitely will get you disqualified, and then the minor ones, you could get away with them. Okay, you could get away with them. And so today I'm going to talk about the minor errors that maybe you did them, that accidentally or unintentionally, it was a typo. I'm going to talk to you about some of those errors and how to properly address them. Okay, you will have to address them at various stages, and I will tell you about how to address them. But let's talk about what are these errors that I'm talking about, or what are these mistakes that I'm talking about. All right, one of the errors or the mistakes that is common that a lot of people do is the arrangement of your names. Some people interchange their names. They put the first name at the last name, and then they put the last name at the first name column, where they just, switch the whole thing all around. All right? If you make that mistake, that is a minor mistake. You could fix this mistake. Okay? Now, remember, I'm talking about just the errors and the mistakes, and then I will tell you about how to fix them. So let's say that when you apply for the lottery, your name, you miss a letter. Okay? Let's say you were typing Treme, and then in the Treme, yours has H at the end, but in this case, you type Treme but without an H. The whole spelling, the pronunciation, those of us from Ghana, we know that Treme with the H, Treme without the H, they sound the same because the H is not pronounced. So if you are missing that letter, know that it makes a difference, but it is a minor error that can be fixed. Let's talk about how do you fix this thing if you have misarranged your name. If you have misarranged your name, if there was a small typo in your name, how could you fix it? If, say, when you apply for the lottery, your date of birth, there was, a mistype there. You, instead of selecting June 12, 1990, you chose December 6, 1990 because of, you got confused with the month and the day. You have confused that, and that has changed. So how do you fix those things? This is what you do. After you have discovered that you have been selected for the Greek Car Lottery and you are a winner, you will communicate with KCC about the errors that you have. Okay, you will let them know these errors, that your name was misarranged, that is missing a single letter, a letter was flipped, something like that. Send an email to KCC, tell them what you did, what the problem is, and then ask them for their assistance in fixing it. Please make sure that your email is straightforward, concise, brief, not lengthy explanation on who your agent is, whether your agent didn't even finish secondary school and he just took this matter and spoiled it for you. No, go straight to the point, what the problem is, and you asking for their solution. Okay, asking for their assistance to fix the problem. All right. But remember that on your DS260, you will have to use the same errors, the same mistakes that you put on your registration. Remember, you have to go and repeat the same thing when you try to gain access into your DS260. Your DS260, to gain access, you need your case number, and then they will ask for your confirmation number, and then they will ask for your surname. So whatever the surname that you put there, whether you interchange it, the wrong one that you use, it should be on your confirmation page. That wrong one, that is what you're going to repeat over here. Okay, you should put your last name here to whatever one that you put on the entry. So if you did a mistyping, a typo, you must repeat the same thing here. And once you have opened your DS360, you can fix the errors. But remember, every time that you want to gain access into your DS360, you must repeat those errors. Use the errors to open them and then correct it whilst you are inside. All right. Now, after that part has been resolved, and depending on the instructions that KCC gives to you, because sometimes they might, tell you, what to do, like just simply do this and that and that. And sometimes they might tell you to go to the embassy. They might schedule an appointment for you to be physically present at the embassy, for the embassy to verify your identity, to make sure that you are who you say you are, before they can let you gain access into your DS260. That is the approach sometimes. Or sometimes they might just tell you that just fix it on here. Right? So that is why you must communicate with KCC about the problem for them to give you instructions or directions on what to do. All right? Now, after you have fixed everything on your DS260, you have corrected it, when you go for the interview, before they ask you to take the oath, make sure that you bring up this problem again. Let the consular know, please, madam, please, sir, my name was misarranged. I didn't arrange my name well. My date of birth was a typo. So I have corrected it on my DS260, but I wanted to mention it here again, just in case it is used somewhere, to print my visa or something. Because we have seen people whose mistakes that were made on the entry, they have been corrected in the DS260, but the mistake on the entry were replicated in their visas, and now they have to fix the problem. So my people, when you go for the interview, if you have any correction, there is any problem with your case, talk about it, bring it up before you swear. Don't wait for them to ask you. How would they know that you have a problem? Tell them what the problem is for the consular to fix, make the correction in the system before they let you swear. Because by you taking the oath and swearing, you're saying that everything that you submitted on your application is complete and accurate. Meanwhile, here you are, you need to correct something. So you need to add the correction so that before you swear, to affirm that even the correction that you just gave us, it is even correct. All right, it is accurate. Okay, so that is what you need to do. But now let's come back to the people who have changed your name. Let's say that since the registration, your name has changed. Since the registration, your name has changed. If your name has changed, then you need to use the new name. Your new name. I know I hear a lot of people asking, can I use affidavit of change of name? Can I use affidavit of... One thing that you must understand is that the moment you change your name, you cannot go back and be using the old name. When you take on a new name, it is like you have removed the old name that is like a shirt from your body. You don't go and wear it again. So that is why I highly recommend that when you have a problem with your name, don't think that, oh, let me go and do affidavit and it will solve my name. It will solve my problem. It will be the cookie cutter response to my problem. No, you need to take the proper procedure to see if there are other ways to fix the problem other than thinking that affidavit of change of name is the correct name. But like people who have really change their name to take on a new name, you use the old name to gain access into your DS260. Let's say you got married after the DV registration and you have now changed your name. Please, getting married does not automatically change your name. You must change your name officially, legally. The fact that you did the wedding doesn't mean that you now have your husband's name. You must go through the process of changing your name, which may require affidavit of change of name and you might also require a gazette to be published. Okay, follow the process in your country for how to legally change your name. So you use the old name that you use on the entry to gain access into your DS260, and whilst you are in there, you can now put in your new name. And when they ask you for other names or maiden names, then you can mention the old name that you had. You can mention the old name that you had. And when you go for the interview, you will bring your affidavit of change of name, your gazette, and then you tell them that my name was changed before the interview. Okay? Before the interview. So that there is no wahala in the end. Alright? So my people, those of you who made these mistakes, these are mistakes that you can fix them. These are the ways to fix them. Let me not forget this last mistake that many of you are wondering, or you are stressing. I made this mistake, sister. I am in the university, but I chose that I have high school diploma. I have high school degree only. I have high school no degree, even though I have graduated, even though I have my school certificate, even though I have this, but I chose this and that. That is fixable. It is not something that can get you disqualified. Make sure that when you're filling your DS260, you put the correct information there. On your DS260, it is going to ask you about the education, your education that you have completed since secondary school. Since secondary school. So it means it includes secondary school and all of your education in between there till your highest level now. So if you are somebody who has a bachelor's degree now and you have completed secondary school, you will put in your secondary school, you will put your university also. If you have a master's degree, you will put your secondary school, you will put your bachelor's education, and then you put your master's education if you have completed them. All right? This is how you fix that problem, especially if you chose high school no degree. If you chose high school no degree even though you have graduated, if you chose the wrong educational level because maybe you were confused about like which one I fall under, that is okay. That one is fixable. You make sure that on your DS260, that place, you cannot just make any mistake anyhow and think that you make your life easy. No, you will make your life even more difficult if you repeat the same mistakes that you have done in your entry, and you repeat them. You continue with the mistakes. You don't follow instructions. You don't want to read as a graduate. You don't want to read and follow the instructions. You do what you think you should put on there. It is, remember, the DS260, it's not about what you think you should put there. It's about what is required. It's about being honest, being accurate, and the completeness of your application. If you withhold some information, then your application is not complete. If you put just your master's degree, your application is not complete because you have skipped some of the information, right? That's why you need to make sure that you are doing the correct thing on the DS260, and when you go for the interview, let them know, okay? But if you chose the wrong educational level and you go for the interview, that's when you don't need to let them know that, hey, I chose them. No, you don't need to worry about that. I'm talking about mistakes such as your name, your date of birth, your place of birth. Those ones you need to let them know, because they are going to print your visa, and those mistakes could go in there. In the visa, they don't put your highest education level anywhere. So that is why that is something that if you had it incorrect on your on the entry, it is not necessary to tell the consul officer that this was a mistake, right? But the things that could affect you, that could be passed on into your visa, those are things that you definitely need to correct. All right, so guys, what are mistakes that you made? What are the mistakes that you made on your application? What are the mistakes? Some of the minor mistakes. Remember, we are talking about minor mistakes, the mistakes that don't disqualify you. We are not talking about your marriage situation. We are not talking about your children. You not mentioning your children or including other people's children, or you mentioning somebody as your wife but you are not married to. That is not what you're talking about. We are talking about the other minor mistakes. What are the ones that you made on your application? Put it down in the comment section below, and then let's see. All right. So guys, what do you think? Does it give you an answer to your problem? The problems, the errors that you have? Does this video give you the answer? Does it give you something that you think you can use to solve your problem? Guys, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook, Ofoi TV. If you are a winner for the Greek Car Lottery and you want to be part of my winners only group, just send me an email, wafoitv@gmail.com, so that you become added to the Telegram platform. I love you guys. God be with you, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye. Bye bye.